Picture composition. So today we are going to learn about picture composition. What is picture composition? What do we mean by picture composition? Building a story by looking at the picture. So you build a story by looking at the picture. How to plan a picture composition? How do we plan writing a story? The first step is to know the story structure. What are the important story elements that each composition must include? So we follow a space strategy to build the story. So what do we mean by space strategy? Space stands for S is for setting, P is for purpose, A is for action, C is for conclusion, and E is for emotions. So we have to remember this, that if we follow the space strategy, we can write a brilliant story. S is for setting, P is for purpose, A is for action, C is for conclusion, and E is for emotions. So let's look at the first part, which is setting. Using the W's, the setting tells the reader the time, place, and the main character of the story. So time means when, place means where, and the main character means who of the story. So we have to remember the 3 W's that we need to answer. So that forms the part of the setting of the story. Then we have the purpose. What is the purpose? To identify the purpose of the main character in the story. So what's happening with the character? What did the main character want to do? So what is the purpose of the main character? Then comes our action. What did the main character do then? What's happening with the main character? And then comes the conclusion. Conclusion means the resolution. What was the result? A complete story requires a conclusion which tells the reader what happened at the end of the story as well as the lesson learned. So conclusion, it involves the solution of the problem, the resolution, and what is the lesson learned from the story. And the last part is the emotions. So when the story is complete, the emotions of the main character can be inserted to complete the story. So we need to keep in mind the space strategy to build the story. S stands for setting, P for purpose, and A for action, C for conclusion, and E for emotions. So we can easily remember this word space. All right, let's look at this picture for 2 minutes and just try to observe what's happening in the picture. Is running and chasing the ball. There is a bus coming on the road. There are children shouting for help. And it seems to be a field near the... All right, so we'll keep our observations in our mind, and then we will see how we can best compose this picture. So when we look at the picture, we'll answer following questions. What the boy in the middle of the picture was doing. So just keep thinking what the boy in the middle of the picture was doing. What the boys in the bottom right-hand corner of the picture were doing. And it happens in the end. So the answer to my first question is, he went to pick the football. Okay, the boy went to pick the football. The boys started shouting loudly to raise an alarm. Why raise an alarm? So we will try to build the story around that. And what happens in the end is something which you have to form towards the end of the story. All right. So children, the first and the foremost thing is we will give the title to the story. The title of the story is Road Safety. Okay. So let's come along, read with me how the story has been composed. Every day after school, I play football with my friends in the school field. All right. So this is a sentence starter for you. Every day after school, I play football with my friends in the school field. Now we can build the story. Yesterday afternoon, we were playing as usual when one of my friends, Vivek, kicked the ball very hard. It bounced out of the school compound and onto the road. I'll get it, said Vivek, and he raced out to chase the ball. Vivek dashed onto the road without noticing the oncoming bus. The bus driver saw Vivek running into the road and tried to brake. But the bus was traveling quite fast and could not stop in time. Look out, Vivek. There's a bus coming, I shouted. When Vivek saw the bus, it was too late. He was already standing in the middle of the road in front of the approaching bus. The ball continued bouncing across the road. Fortunately, the bus driver was able to swerve his vehicle so that it missed Vivek. But before it skidded to a halt, it ran over the football. There was a loud noise as the football burst in like a balloon. Everyone stood there in shock, looking at the burst football. And Vivek was very scared. He had learned an important lesson from this incident. So children, now you can try writing your own story, look at the picture, form your own story, and you can very well compose the story by working with the space strategy. Now I'm sure you have liked the picture composition, and if you have liked, you may subscribe and share it with your friends. Goodbye. Until next, we will meet soon. Thank you.